Hey everybody, this week we're going to be working with this poem called I Care and Am Willing to Serve by Marian Wright Edelman. Marian Wright Edelman is a very famous African American poet, and in this poem she is working hard to help us understand her answer to the question we asked last week, whether or not one person can make a difference in their community and the world. In this poem, her answer is very, very clear because she makes lists and lists and lists of people, names here who she says or believes uh, did in fact make a difference in their communities and the world. A lot of these names are going to be very familiar to you from a social studies class and African American History Month, like Martin Luther King Jr., Maya Angelou, Harriet Tubman, Franklin Roosevelt, who of course is not black but was a president who did a lot for equality. Um, Dr. Du Bois, W.E.B. Du Bois, Sojourner Truth, Booker T. Washington are probably all names that you are very familiar with as being very important to Black history in the United States. Other names here you might be a little bit less familiar with. For example, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, Nelson Mandela, and Mahatma Gandhi are very important when talking about people of color in other places. Because they helped get rid of and bring public attention to, which then put more pressure on governments to get rid of policies that are discriminatory against Black people or Indian people or wherever they're from, usually through pretty fantastic means without resorting to violence. They are, in many cases, there are countries' versions of Martin Luther King Jr. And in some cases, it's hard to say that someone made more of an impact on the world than MLK did. But some people would argue that these people made as big or bigger of an impact. For example, Mahatma Gandhi managed to end British occupation in India by going on a hunger strike, which is kind of amazing. Some of these other names here might be a little bit less familiar to you, like Fred Shuttlesworth is probably someone you haven't heard of. Mother Teresa might be a new name for you. Cesar Chavez might be a new name for you. Dorothy Love. I recommend you to take, I'm sorry, Dorothy Day, not Dorothy Love. I recommend that you take a minute taking a look at what some of those people did if you have the time. Mother Teresa is a Catholic saint because she was working with the poor. Cesar Chavez did a lot of work also for the poor. These people up here are, well, Fannie Lou Hamer is a famous singer, obviously. These two people helped to organize people who were protesting in order to help people become equal. So like I was saying, this is a long list of people, and it's not really important in order to understand the poem who all these people are, as long as you understand what they have in common. It's important to understand that up through the first two-thirds of the poem, she keeps saying that I'm not like these famous people. I don't have these awesome qualities, but I care and I'm willing to serve other people. Towards the end of the poem, she starts saying how her struggle to make a difference is different than those people's struggles were, and how she's having trouble figuring out how to use her talents to um, to solve those problems. But you start to understand how she sees her place in the world and how she expects to be able to make a difference. Um, as you read this poem, as you listen to this poem being performed, I hope you keep that in the back of your mind, and I hope that you think about how her message might be able to apply to what's going on with us in our individual lives now during the pandemic. None of us are scientists, at least not professional scientists. None of us are politicians, thank goodness. Um, None of the people who are in our class, at least, are working in hospitals or in supermarkets or in kitchens. Um, None of us are first responders, but still, there are things that we can be doing. There are skills that we can use to help solve the problems our world is facing. Um, just like Marian is saying here, we don't have these um, awesome powers and skills that these people are talking about, but hopefully you care and you're willing to serve.